Hey, what's up, guys? C here from USBC Wrestling, and welcome to this AEW 2022 tier list video. So, what I'm gonna do here, I'm sure you all know what a tier list is, but in case you don't, this is the complete AEW roster. Although it has a couple people that aren't involved in the company anymore, which is why I have this bottom tier, just simply not with the company anymore. And I decided I wanted to go over all of this. There is also, I'm pretty sure, not a certain someone, and I would be correct. There's no Claudio, also known as Cesaro, from WWE. I would currently rank him probably a B or an A tier, considering he got straight into the Blackpool Combat Club, and that's a good place to put him. Now, out of what we have, Brandy is simply not with the company. Aaron Solo, I don't even know who this is, so I'm sure he has a purpose of some kind. I just don't know what it is, so I'm gonna just put him in D tier. Abaddon, I like the person. Like the person like that obviously is the character is a great person, but the actual gimmick just isn't good. So next would bring me to Adam Cole, and I would throw him immediately into the S tier. He is one of their top stars, and he will likely be for a while. Same thing with Hangman Adam Page. Easy S tier. Now, Allen, or Fives, is not with the company anymore. Alex Reynolds is. I would probably put him in C tier because he, as part of the Dark Order, we see him every once in a while, but he doesn't really contribute much more than that. Andrade, I will put at a solid B because he hasn't done that much. He took the Hardy faction, Matt Hardy's faction, over, but that's it. And he's brought in the new faction that I can't pronounce. I'll put it right here. And Helico, he's probably gonna just go into D tier because I have nothing against him or his gimmick. He's just kind of there. Anna Jay, I'm gonna put on B because I think she has potential. They just haven't really done much with her in terms of actually pushing her. And her recent heel turn is, I don't really know what to think of it. I don't particularly care for it, but they might get something good out of it. You never know. Anthony Bowens, I'm going to put at a solid C tier. He seems like a very cool dude, and I enjoy the Acclaimed, so that's where I'm going to throw him. And Anthony Gogo, likely going to go into D. He has not done anything of note since joining AEW. Austin Gunn, also going to put there because same thing. Billy Gunn, same place. None of these have achieved really anything yet. Bobby Fish, I'm going to put at... I'm going to put him at A tier. I do like him. I like what he's been doing with Kyle O'Reilly. It just doesn't really feel like he hasn't gotten that big push yet, and I don't know if he will at any point. I'm hoping he will, but I'm not too sure. Sorry if you can hear my loud ass chair. Brandon Cutler. As funny as it would be to put him in F tier, I gotta put him up in B just for being the elite alone. I respect. This guy will upload a being the elite the day after a pay per view and have plenty of footage from the pay per view. Dude probably stays up all night doing that shit. I appreciate the hell out of him. And he's also just a great stooge on TV. Brian Cage, man, I don't know where to put you. You could be anywhere in this area. Probably D above these guys, though, because he actually did do stuff of note in the beginning of AEW and then just disappeared. I don't even think he's with the company anymore, actually. So I'm going to put him down here because I don't think he's actually in the company because I haven't seen him in forever. Brian Pillman Jr., I'm going to put at a solid C because I like him, and fucking Griff Garrison, that's his name, are an enjoyable team, and I very much like what they did with someone we'll get to in a little bit later. I think. Where the hell is she? Who the fuck is she? The hell? I don't even think they have her here anywhere. Well, the person I'm talking about is Julia Hart, who apparently they left her off. But what I would have done with her is likely put her around B, because I really like her recent heel turn with the House of Black, and I think they can do a lot with it. But she's just not here apparently. Britt Baker, easy S tier. She is the biggest woman star in AEW. Still is, even without the title. You can tell this isn't properly updated because these two aren't the champions anymore. And also, it has people that aren't in the company. But Britt Baker is definitely the biggest women's star in the entire company right now, so she has to be easy S tier. Brock Anderson, son of Arn, D tier. You've done absolutely nothing, buddy. Danielson, easy S. He's had multiple 5-star matches since joining AEW, even though he's only been there for just under a year now. The Bunny, I'm going to give her a C based on that one match she had alone. That one hardcore match is absolutely the best thing she's done since joining. And also pretty much the only thing of note she's done since joining, other than introducing the Butcher and Blade. And I think she deserves around a C. Cash Wheeler, S tier. And where is he? Dax Harwood, also going into S. FTR is on the run of a lifetime right now, winning multiple tag team championships, and hopefully they'll win the AEW one soon. But right now they are just on a different level, so they deserve easy S tier. Chavo, I don't think he's ever wrestled for them. Maybe he has once, but I'm gonna pull him in D because I forgot he was even in the company. Jericho, yeah, I'll give him an S. He was the first champion of the company and basically carried it for half a year by himself. Not by himself, obviously, but he was the main driving force for most WWE fans at the time. Christian Cage. Before, I would have put him probably down here. But due to his recent turn on Jungle Boy, he gets a solid A. He and Jungle Boy are cutting very good promos right now, and I think they're going to have a very good match together. Hopefully. I'm betting on that being correct. Christopher Daniels has taken a bunch of... Has taken a backseat role to be mostly a trainer now, but still appears on Dark from time to time, so he gets a B. I very much enjoyed SoCal. I've even seen them live. It was cool. A month before AEW was born, I went and saw an ROH show, and it was SoCal Uncensored was there. So he gets a B tier. Even with SoCal out, he may have been higher before, but now that SoCal's done, he's just kind of taken a back role. I enjoy his BTE segments. For those of you who don't know what that is, I've mentioned it with Brandon. And it's Being the Elite, which is their little like vlog show that they use to sometimes further storylines and just have comedic bits. And it's always enjoyable. I'd recommend checking it out if you haven't. Dang, we still have like most of these guys to go. Okay. Let's kind of speed through this then. Chuck Taylor. B. I enjoy the Best Friends more than probably half the internet does. I think they're just a fun tag team. And he just seems like a chill dude. CM Punk, S tier. He is the current AEW World Champion. And he's also CM fucking Punk. Cody Rhodes, not with the company. Would have been an S, but he left the WWE. And as to be fair, until he got injured, had a very good run. Colt Cabana, C tier. I enjoyed what he's done with the Dark Order, even though it looks like he's mostly done with them. And he recently has reappeared on ROH. So good for him. I'm just glad he finally gets his moment in the spotlight after being mostly on the indies his entire career. So happy for him. Colton Gunn is going to go right with Billy and Austin in the D tier because other than the current feud with the Acclaimed, not much is happening with them right now. Daniel Garcia. I don't know who he is, so he's going into D. Oh, he might be part of the Jericho Appreciation Society, maybe. Someone like that. Dante Martin, D. Darby Allin, S. He is gonna be a world champion in AEW. He's gonna be. Like, they've been building him ever since his first match in against Cody. Like, Darby is the current generation, which is my generation. He is our Jeff Hardy. And he is very fun to watch in the ring. His selling is spectacular, and he's willing to do pretty much anything. Also, the half face paint look is badass. Darius Martin's going right next to Dante. Dustin Rhodes, he is going to go into the A tier. He is extremely good for his age. He's like 50 something, I think. And he still puts on classics from time to time. Eddie Kingston, S tier, the best talker in the business right now. Hands down, he is just the best promo guy currently wrestling. Emi Sakura, I'm going to put her into C tier. I'm not too familiar with her work from Japan, but from what I've seen, she seems like a good wrestler. Ethan Page, All Ego. Probably going into C tier as well, because he's been good right now. And America's Top Team, I think is the name. With Scorpio. But he hasn't really done that much. He's just kind of been a follower for Scorpio. Evil Uno as kind of the leader of the Dark Order. We'll get to the real one soon. He is also going to go into C tier. I will put him next to Alex Reynolds, though. If I can actually get them in the right spot. There we go. The Dark Order is mostly going to fill out the C spot because they had a very good time when they were like in between 2020 and 2021, but in the last half year haven't really done anything of note. Frankie Kazarian, the Elite Hunter, is going to go into B next to Christopher Daniels. I really enjoyed SoCal while he was in it, and I liked the Elite Killer. I just wish they did something more with it. It's either the Elite Hunter or the Elite Killer. I don't remember. But they didn't do very much with it. And I do like his recent match with Sammy and Ty Conti, which I assume she's here somewhere. There she is. We'll get to her later. That was a fun match. Fuego del Sol going into C because he had a very good signing moment. That was a very nice moment. Hasn't done anything of note since, except for Sammy using his outfit to join the Jericho Appreciation Society. Griff Garrison is going to probably fill out the C tier as well, because, like I said before, I enjoy him and Brian's team. Hikaru Shida going into the A tier. She is, other than Britt Baker and a couple others, she is one of the mainstream stars, especially of the women for AEW. So I'm gotta put her very much near the top for that. Hook is going into B tier. This kid has a good future ahead of him. He just won the FTW championship just a few days ago, in fact. So they're definitely going to be building him for a while. So I'm excited for that. One guy who seems to be missing is Danhausen. He would probably be in B right around Side Hook, because I really enjoy Danhausen. I think he's funny. Hate me all you want, internet. I don't care. Isaiah Cassidy going into C tier. They have not Private Party have not done much in the last while. Jack Evans gonna go into D tier because he's also just not really been on TV. I don't watch Dark or Elevation like at all, so that's partially on me, I'm sure, but he just hasn't done much. Jade Cargill's going into A tier. They have built Jade Cargill fantastically. I'm pretty sure she's still undefeated. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure as of the end of July of 2022, she is still undefeated, and they just built her spectacularly as one of the major women stars of the company. Jake Hager is going to go into B tier. Has done well as Jericho's heavy. I wouldn't mind seeing him kind of branch off on his own, but I don't know if he has the talking ability for something like that. So I'm gonna stick him around B. Jamie Hayter, also going to stick into B because she has been a good. I hate saying the word follower, but she's been a good follower for Britt Baker lately, and ever since they debuted her, I think. So I believe she deserves around a B. Jay Lethal. Hard to say. Hey. Jeff Parker, who the fuck are you? Alright, well, you're going into D tier. Joey Danoa, not there anymore. John Silver, B tier, the probably best member of the Dark Order. In terms of who they might actually give a proper push to. So I'll give it to him. John Moxley, S tier. A great talker, a great wrestler. He was the second ever AEW champion. Jungle Boy is going up into S tier as well, because they're definitely going to have him. You know what I said about Darby? Ditto for Jungle Boy. He will be a world champion in this company. 100%. They're going to give it to him. Kenny Omega, he's going into S tier. He's Kenny goddamn Omega. Kip Sabian, D. They have done nothing with him since he was betrayed by Miro. Actually, he's just kind of had the gimmick of having a cardboard box on his head and being in the crowd every week. But as far as I know, they are not building to anything with that. So he's going into D tier. Chris Statlander is going to fill out C. Oh God. I think she's got a lot of potential to her. I just think right now it's not quite her time yet. I do believe they'll give her a title run eventually. But right now, she's just kind of hanging around in the mid card of the women's division. O'Reilly, you are going to go into A tier, right alongside Bobby Fish, because he is also just an insanely good wrestler. They just haven't pushed him to main event status yet. Lance Archer, I'm going to put you into B, because he has a lot of potential. They can absolutely, if they want, build him to main event level again, and even put a world title on him. I could see that. They just have to build him up. He hasn't really done much of note in a while. He deserves it. Lee Johnson going into D tier. I know who you are by name. I can't think of any matches. Lee Moriarty, same thing. I feel bad leaving Abaddon here just in F tier. I'm sure eventually, maybe I'll hit someone else that deserves it. Or deserves it. That just isn't very appealing to me. But right now, she just kind of went around. Leva Bates. D tier. She's funny in BTE, but I don't think they've had her wrestle in months. Layla Hirsch, I'm going to put into C. She's someone else that I can see eventually rising to the top of the women's division. If they put in a women's mid-card title, Layla could win it, Chris could win it, Anna Jay could win it, Emi Sakura could win it. Like, I guess they do have the women's mid-card title. It's the not the TNT title, the TBS title with Jade. So once they get it off her, maybe it'll be like these three's time. Leah Rush, now with the company. Luchasaurus, he is going to go into the A tier. He's not going to be quite up there with Jungle Boy, but I will put him even with Christian Cage, as Luchasaurus has been he's very athletic for his size. He can do like flips and shit, which you'd think he couldn't, but he can. Oh, I found someone to match Abaddon. Luther. He is not someone I care about whatsoever. Malachi Black. I will put him at A. I wish I could put him up to S, but they have not done much with him. He had an incredible debut, and then they just didn't do anything for months. He had some feuds, but like I can't remember like any of them. Mark Henry. So he's never wrestled, so I'm just gonna put him here. I enjoy him. He's fun on commentary and like on Rampage, but he hasn't actually wrestled, so I don't know why they put him here with all the wrestlers. Marco's son, now with the company. Mark Quinn. He actually is with the company. Where did I put Isaiah Cassidy? Right here on C. Private Party have just simply not done anything in recent times. Matt, I'm going to put you in probably B tier. Just above Private Party, because he actually has done things recently. One person not here is also Jeff. Jeff Hardy is currently on leave, dealing with addiction issues, which I hope the best for him. He's one of my favorites. I hope he pulls through and gets the help he needs, and I'm hoping it sticks. But I would probably put Jeff right alongside him, because since the two have been together in AEW, they've put on some good-ass matches. Matt Jackson, I'm going to put him at the same time as Nick. Both of them are going into the S tier. Where's Nick? He's somewhere. There he is. These two are both going to go into the S tier because they are one of the best tag teams, if not the best tag team on the world right now. Matt Lee, part of the Jericho Appreciation Society, C. He can cut a good promo. Matt Sydal, D, because he hasn't done much. Max Caster, I'm going to put him in C tier. Actually, I'm going to put him right alongside Anthony Bowens, because the Acclaimed is fun, and his disses are good. They can be very good. Mercedes, I'm going to put her in B tier, because she has been champion, which is more than a solid chunk of this roster can say. So, and she's a good wrestler, so, you know. Nakazawa, F tier. I don't even know if he still works there, but if he does, F tier. I didn't like the gimmick. Miro, gonna put him on A, and I'm really hoping they catapult him, because he deserves it. And I think he just came back from injury, though. But he's been good ever since he joined the company. I didn't care much for the best man stuff with Kip Sabian. But once he betrayed him and like started doing his own stuff, he became very good. MJF S tier. Basically what I said about Eddie. Eddie is the most believable promo right now. MJF is the most heel promo out there. Anywhere right now. 100%. Mr. Brody Lee and Mr. Brody Lee Jr. I am going to put Lee original in S, and I'm going to put his son right alongside him. Mr. Brody Lee was going to definitely end up with the AEW World Championship if he had not passed away in 2020. They eventually would have given it to him. I'm almost certain. And his son being the leader of the Dark Order and being able to come to AEW and have fun and not think about it, not think about the fact he doesn't have a father, is very nice of the company. And they both just deserve. Brody Lee Jr. deserves just the best childhood / like adolescence he can get. Moving on from that, Nick Kamaroto, D. Don't know who you are. Nyla Rose, B tier. I enjoy her. Also, her social media is one of the best wrestling accounts to follow. She is fucking hilarious. Orange Cassidy, B. Some of you are going to hate me for this opinion. I really like Orange Cassidy. I think he's funny. And also, when he tries, he is really good at wrestling. Which is like his entire gimmick. But, it's actually pretty good. Ortiz, I am also going to put in B. Along with, where is he? Santana. I like Proud and Powerful. I like what they've done with them recently, breaking them off from Jericho and letting them be their own thing. I'm going to hold them at B because they're a good team. Pac, also B tier. One of the best wrestlers in the world still. Also, he's a bastard. But they'll probably give him a run with the TNT title, but I don't think they're going to put him in main event status, unfortunately. I think he's a little bit past it now. Although I guess Jericho was the first champion. He's like 50 now, but whatever. Paul White, D. I know who he is. He didn't have to wrestle. If they weren't going to give him the Shaq match, they just shouldn't have had him wrestle, in my opinion. Penelope Ford, D tier. She has not done much. Penta and also Rey Fenix are both going into S. Where is he? There he is. They are incredible. Like, they match the Young Bucks and FTR. They are insanely good at tag team wrestling. Pretty Peter Avalon, F tier. Doesn't do it for me. Powerhouse Hobbs, especially after last Wednesday, he is going into the B tier. They are starting to give him push, and I very much appreciate that. 10, I'm going to put on C. I feel like if he wasn't stuck with the 10 gimmick, they would have pushed him a little bit by now, but I mean, he's fine. As part of the Dark Order, he's fine. Marshall, F. I get he's there to be a trainer primarily, but I can't remember a single match of his that I enjoyed. Rebel, D tier. Pretty forgettable. Red Velvet, same thing. Forgettable. Ricky Starks. Going into B right alongside Powerhouse Hobbs, ironically. A very funny and very good promo. Especially now that Team Taz seems to be splitting up. Ironically, I'd put them all together. Except for Brian Cage, who is down here. Riho, C tier. She was the first women's champion of AEW. And maybe this is because of COVID. I'm not too sure. But she has not really done much since in terms of in the company. Ruby Soho, solid B. A good women's wrestler that I can absolutely see getting the world title eventually. But that time is not right now. Sammy. I have to put him in B tier for his wrestling skills alone. His gimmick right now, I don't like it. I just don't. It's not exactly funny. Like, they tried to have him as a face for a while, and it just wasn't good. But, like, his wrestling ability is very good. If you have never seen him do the cutter on Cody in Cody's last ever match for AEW, at least for now, off the ladder, go look that up. It is incredible. Scorpio. Probably a C tier. They've just had him floating around the TNT title picture along with Sammy without much else happening. He's a serviceable enough champion and a good wrestler, but that's about it. Serena Deeb. Probably a B, because I actually really enjoyed her gimmick of no one can beat me in 5 minutes. They built her up pretty well, and she had a good match with Rosa, which I will get to fairly shortly. You will go right next to Luther. Your Twitter account's funny, along with Nyla. They have a fun feud, but in terms of actually in AEW, I don't enjoy you at all. Sean Dean, D tier. Sean Spears, D tier. I like Sean Spears. He has done almost nothing of note. Sunny Kiss, D tier. Sting, I'm going to give him an A. I'm not going to put him quite in the S tier, but he and Darby are so good together. And Sting is actually, he is 62, I think, 62, 63, and he still takes bumps. He literally jumped off a ladder onto a table a few months ago, and it was amazing. Which I'm also very thankful for Sting's health, and the fact that 2015 wasn't the end of his career. Stu Grayson, not with the company anymore. Ty Conti. Ooh, you would have probably been in B tier before, 3 months ago. But they paired her up with Sammy, and she has legit not wrestled in 4 months beyond a couple matches, which they just stick it with Sammy. I get why, because there's a big controversy on social media about it. But at the same time, they basically took her out of wrestling and just made her a manager, when she's actually really good at wrestling. The Butcher and Blade, probably high D, because they're prevalent. I don't care for them that much. Thunder Rosa, S tier. The other high benchmark of the women's division in AEW, as well as the current champion. She and Britt Baker put on one of the best women matches I've ever seen. And she's just really enjoyable as a babyface. Tony Nese, D, I don't know who you are. Trent Beretta, I do know who you are. And I'm going to put you, where did I put Chuck? Where is he? Is he in B? I think he's in B. Somewhere. Maybe he wasn't in B. Fuck. Can't find him. I'm just trying to put him with his friend. There. Okay, it was in B. Because just like Orange Cassidy, I very much enjoy the best friends, so I'm gonna just keep them all in B. Wardlow, easy A tier. Not quite. He's gonna be actually number 1 in the A tier, because he is very much getting prepped up for a title run of some kind. Actually, he might currently be the TNT champion, or some champion of some kind. I'm not entirely sure, but if he's not, he's definitely gonna be soon. And Yuka Sakazaki, what I've seen, solid, dependable worker. I just haven't seen that much from her. So we have in total, in the S tier, we have Adam Cole, Adam Page, Britt Baker, Bryan Danielson, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, Jungle Boy, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, MJF, Mr. Brody Lee and Mr. Brody Lee Jr., Penta, Ray Phoenix, and Thunder Rosa. A tier, we have Wardlow, Bobby Fish, Christian Cage, Dustin Rhodes, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill, Jay Lethal, Kyle O'Reilly, Luchasaurus, Malachi Black, Miro, and Sting. B tier, we have Andrade, Anna Jay, Brandon Cutler, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian. All the Best Friends in Orange Cassidy, Hook, Jake Hager, Jamie Hayter, John Silver, Lance Archer, Matt Hardy, Mercedes Martinez, Nyla Rose, Ortiz, Santana, Pac, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Ruby Soho, Sammy Guevara, and Serena Deeb. In C tier, we have Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, Brian Pillman Jr., The Bunny, Colt Cabana, Emi Sakura, Ethan Page, Fuego del Sol, Griff Garrison, Isaiah Cassidy, Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch, Mark Quinn, Matt Lee, Preston Vance, Riho, Scorpio Sky, Tai Conti, and Yuka Sakazaki. D tier, which is our biggest tier out of all of them, unfortunately, is Aaron Solo, The Blade, The Butcher, Angelico, Anthony Agogo, All the Guns, Brock Anderson, Chavo Guerrero, Daniel Garcia, Dante Martin, Darius Martin, Jack Evans, Jeff Parker, Kip Sabian, Lee Johnson, Lee Moriarty, Leva Bates, Matt Seidel, Nick Camaroto, Paul White, Penelope Ford, Rebel, Red Velvet, Sean Dean, Sean Spears, Sonny Kiss, and Tony Nese. F tier, we had Abaddon, Luther, Michael Nakazawa, Pretty Peter Avalon, QT Marshall, and Serpentico. And not with the company anymore, we have Brandy Rhodes, Five, Brian Cage, Cody Rhodes, Joe Janela, Leo Rush, Mark Henry, who's in the company but hasn't wrestled for them, which I think I'm going to put Chavo down there too. Marco Stunt, and Stu Grayson. As to where these guys would go down here, I would likely put Brandy around D or C, because she has done very little. The thing they tried to give her failed miserably. Alan and Stu would likely be in C with their Dark Order friends. Brian Cage would likely be in C or D, because they just simply didn't do much with them. Cody Rhodes would be in S tier. Joey Janela would probably be in C tier. Leo Rush would likely be in C tier as well. Marco Stunt, probably C or D. And then these two just haven't wrestled. So, that's it. This is a long video, that's for sure. But thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to USBC Gaming, as well as USBC Wrestling. You can tell this is the first video I've recorded since starting the new channel. I am recording this before the SummerSlam vid. So, yeah, I'm very used to saying the old outro compared to the one for this channel. But subscribe to both if you don't mind, and I'll talk to y'all later.